Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to show you what the hunting setup is going to be on my Carbon Express pile driver. I did a video, about a month ago, maybe it's been longer than that, where I showed you what the Carbon Express, what this crossbow was capable of out of the box, using the same arrows, using the sight it came with, and I showed you it can go 0 to 80 yards with the stock setup very accurately. I'll put the link to that in the description below. But I also mentioned that I was going to change it up to make it shoot further and to make it even more accurate and easier to use. I'm going to be hunting, having my kids, my wife, and myself. All of us are going to be using this crossbow a little bit. I actually hunt with a recurve mainly, so you will see the next couple videos, or next video come out, where I'm going to show you kind of my setup on that. So stay tuned for that. But it's called a scope dial or something like that. I'll put a product link below, but check it out. It is made by HHA, and it's literally a dial. And what it does is, as you turn the dial, it's got a scope mount, is basically, and it moves the scope like this for trajectory. So you don't have to use the tick marks on the scope, and you don't have to guess like, okay, I ranged the target or the animal is 56 yards away. So then you're like, oh crap, okay, this tick mark was 45 yards, and I remember this tick mark was maybe 60 yards, or whatever you've got figured out on your tick marks on the scope. Then you're kind of guessing, okay, I'm gonna aim a little high, I'm gonna aim a little bit high with the 45 and hope that it drops in there right. So with this, there's zero guesswork. You say, okay, you range that deer 57 yards. Come over here to the dial. You say, there's 55, let's say 57 yards. And you just aim dead on with the crosshairs. And that's where it shoots. I tried a lighter weight arrow because I wanted to get that max trajectory. I thought I was going to get like 130 yards. That didn't happen. My groupings got really bad when I switched to a lighter arrow. Really bad, I mean at 75 yards I started noticing the groupings were getting too big, about paper plate size, and I want tighter. So I went back to the PileDriver arrows that the crossbow came with, and I'm shooting 125 grain field points, and I put a lighted knock, a nocturnal lighted knock on the end, so that's adding even more weight. And my groupings got better, so I stuck with that. So what I've got on the scope yardage wise, the sticker goes back to 80 yards, but you can see it keeps going further. So with this thing dialed all the way back, I can get, it's about 96 yards, and that's still using the center crosshairs on the scope. So I haven't shot further past that, but I know, there's more tick marks down on the scope. So if a guy wanted to, he could dial this guy all the way, all the way back to 96 yards. Then you could start using the tick marks on the scope to go even further, and you could definitely probably reach 130 yards, but I'm happy with about 100 yards with the crossbow. And to be honest, once I get back that far, I can't hold it steady enough to hit that paper plate pie size target. I can at 100 or 96, which I'm going to show you here in a second. But yeah, so I just came and randomly sat down. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it just to real life show you how it works. So right here I'm at 29 yards. So I'm going to dial this thing, where are we at? Right about there. and we're gonna shoot, and I'll show you where it hits. Another thing is you want to constantly lube up this rail. I think that helps your accuracy. It helps this rail not wear out. Carbon Express Flight Rail Lube. Safety off. Maybe about 1 inch low. Here's where I hit. That one was me, but I think I was aiming for about like right here, the bottom of the heart area. So I hit just a hair low. But we're gonna go ahead and, before I were to adjust anything, I'm gonna scoot back and maybe we'll shoot about a 50, 60, or 70, somewhere in there. 60 yards even. So we're gonna shoot 60 yards. See, my target's way over yonder. All I gotta do is set this dial to 60, and I like laying down when you're a little bit further back. It's easier to hold steady. So my eyes are bad enough I can't really even see where I hit, but we're gonna shoot another one, and then we'll go check it out. Something happened, I hit way to the left. I'm gonna mark that arrow, make sure it's not that arrow. My first shot, that was my first shot. But I think the point of this video is the trajectory. So you can see up and down. I'm not gonna edit out the bad shots, just bringing it to you real. We got some work practice to do. When you start getting back at distances, guys, it's very critical you practice. I mean, right now, the way that I'm shooting, I would never take a 60-yard shot on a deer until I can practice and know that I'm hitting every time. I'm gonna guess one of these arrows is the culprit on that deal. So anyhow, swing set on the left and the targets are on the right. That is way back, guys. 90 yards even. So this thing goes back to 80 yards, the last mark on the tape that I had, and then there's blank spot on the tape. And if I keep going all the way through, as far as this thing can rotate, I'm thinking maybe it's more like 90, and that's where I'm at now. So we will find out. If that's the case, I'm gonna mark right 90 on there with the Sharpie. Apparently, I've just got to figure out my trajectory for 90 yards. I didn't have it marked, so this was at 90. So I'm gonna guess all the way back is about 93 yards. It's crazy how much 1 or 2 yards makes trajectory-wise at that distance. So I need to make a mark on there. Actually, I'm gonna make I'll make a 90-yard mark, and then I'll know that it can go just a hair past there. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go shoot at like 80 yards, which is the mark on my scope, to make sure that it's dead on at 80. And then I'll figure out my pass where there's no marks on the tape later. And anyways, I said I think it's probably gonna be like 93 maxed out. And I need to figure out which one of these arrows is always flying to the left and which one's always flying to the right. So, alrighty. Well, here's my round at 80 yards. I still got some dialing in to do, fine tuning, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy. Just got to make a few more tweaks, do a little more shooting, and we'll be ready to go. But that's what you can get. That's gonna be my kids and wife, and even my own hunting setup this year. Yep. Take your time. Smoked it, 20 yards. Another thing I want to show you, this crossbow comes with this cocking device, which I think a normal guy is not going to use it. You're just going to hook up the pull ropes, which again in that other video I show how to use those. Hook it behind here, cock it just like any other crossbow. But I've been having back issues for about a year, and about 4 or 5 months ago went to the doctor, got MRIs and everything, and I have 2 discs. One disc in the back is like radially torn, and the other one's just called herniated, where it's like the fluid from the middle is bulging out, hitting nerves. They want me to get back surgery, which at this point I'm refusing to do that. I'm just trying to take it easy. I'm going to physical therapy, taking all kinds of good supplements, doing the right workouts, and mainly not lifting the boat off the hitch and doing things, everyday things for me, but I'm slowly building up. One of those is actually pulling the crossbow back. It makes me use muscles when I bend my back, so I can't do that. So I have been using this cocking device, and it's helped me tremendously, because before, like I said, I didn't realize it, but the motion of doing this actually was straining my back, and that doesn't let it heal quicker. So cocking device is really handy, and it works. It takes longer to use, but if you're weak or crippled like me, unfortunately, then this thing's nice to have. So you just do this. You can hear it, it'll go dook. And then to let it off, you just push this button down and let her down. Alright.